Okay, so I came out here to actually pick some peppers. It's sprinkling and I want to get these in before the rain. It actually sounds like it's raining harder, so I'm going to get a little wet. But these are the tomatoes that the chickens actually planted for me. I had given them some tomatoes to eat, and where they scratched the ground, these were planted. So I pulled these up out of the yard. I think I have about 20 plants. The goal is to keep these in here for right now in the greenhouse, and because we're going to have probably frost this month, and then to put these in the caterpillar tunnel whenever I get these done. I'm just going to experiment a little bit and see how long I can keep these alive, see if I actually get something, because some of them do have blooms on them. But I already have disease, if you can see that. So I definitely want to get some of this cut off, like this one here, and try to keep these as healthy as I can. I'm not really sure how much of that you saw because my camera is not wanting to stay up, but I just about scared myself. I do not like tomato worms. I don't like worms at all. And I touched this plant and there's like this tiny tomato worm, and I'll show you because it's on a diseased. Now normally I don't find them this small. You can barely see them right there. Alright, I got the hat. I actually had to pull my hair down because I don't have a hat that's open on the top, which would be nice in the summer, but not right now. So this is one of my grandma's hats, and as you can see, I have used it a lot. I really got to find a more durable one. This is actually made out of straw. I'll put this one up. I probably need to kind of try to fix that hole there. So the plan is today to pick the Habanadas that I think are Habanadas. Let me straighten you up a little bit. My plant labels didn't work so well. I have these white plant labels like this, and I mark on them with permanent marker. Well, you can tell that one's a little dry rotted. With permanent marker, and what's happened was the rain and the sunshine, the weather just bleached them out. So I knew there were peppers, but I don't know what kind they are because I have a sugar rush and I have a habanada. I'm thinking these are the habanada, which are really not supposed to be hot. But I've bit into the end of one and they are a little spicy. So I think what I'm going to do is take some of the Nadapenos and some of the Habanadas, and I'm going to do about half and half, and I'm going to make some cowboy candy with that instead of just the Nadapenos to give a little spice. And then I think I'm also going to make some Habanada jelly like I did with the Nadapenos, and because that was delicious over cream cheese. So I think I'm going to do that too. I have dried a bunch, but these plants put on so many peppers. I actually trimmed one down, it's still there, but they bushed out. They have so many peppers on them because they took a while to turn orange. So I haven't pulled them all out yet, but I think I'm going to get my big basket and I'm just going to fill it full of these Habanadas that I think are Habanadas. And then after that, if there's actually blooms left on there, it may trim the plant up a little bit so it's not falling over and breaking. But I think I'm going to leave them for just a little bit and see how they do. I've left my Nadapenos. I'm trying to leave them as long as I can because they're still producing. I figure if the bees are pollinating, I can still have peppers. And I can cover them up. That is the plan anyways. If I know there's a frost going to be coming, I'll just cover them up and see if I can save them and make them last as long as possible. So let's get out there. And it sounds like it's raining harder than it really is with this plastic on the roof. So hopefully we don't get too wet. And yeah, we'll see what happens because my camera is outside in the weather. So let's go pick some peppers and see what we can find. Alright, I've got you hidden up underneath the wheelbarrow that's still out here. So hopefully that will protect you from some rain. It's not too bad. It actually feels good. Yesterday was rather humid out here. I did see that part of my basil plant over here, actually the whole plant has fallen over. It's gotten so heavy. So I will probably just take that in, cut those off, and hang them upside down and dry those. And I'll probably trim this other one up a little bit and let it go to seed. So this is the plant that I actually trimmed up, and as I'm looking at it, it has more blooms and peppers coming onto it. So I guess I'll leave it. So that's what I'll do to these. I will trim them up and see what else. See what they do. I had to go get my sticks. All right, let's see what we got here. So last time what I did was I just snipped off the branches, and then I can see the peppers a lot better and just pull them off. So as long as you're trimming your pepper bush, it makes this a lot easier. Nothing like harvesting in the rain. I did pick some Nadapenos yesterday, so I do have those. I think that one's kind of bad. Some of these have been on the ground, so I'm trying to decide if it's actually dirt or they're actually rotting a little bit. Look at all those. Isn't that crazy? Some of these are going bad though. They have been out here for a while. I really didn't know what to do with them, other than dry them. So now I've got some new recipes to try. I'm pretty excited about that. I'll try to take you along with that. Now I did get some green ones off here, but that's okay. There is still some blooms on this one, but it was breaking off and really weighing the plant down, so I'm okay with that. And the chickens will eat them or be composted. I will look these over a little bit better when I get them in the house, clean them off. They're still in their fencing right now in their run because I don't want them completely in the garden all the time. I did let them out yesterday and I've got some spots where they've kind of messed up a little bit. I'll have to clean up the garden here before long anyways. Okay. I've got quite a few so far. Whoops. Toss them out on the ground there. So here we have a plant that has completely fallen over, and it is not a Habanada. It is these lilac bells. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick some of these. These are actually quite a bit bigger than what I had been getting. This branch just broke off, as you can see why. I'm gonna trim this one up too, just to see if it's going to produce much more. Stay upright. Maybe. And this is another one that had broken off, and you can see why. All the peppers are right on the top and just weigh it down. So I'm just going to pick the ones off that are ripe. I've actually gotten quite a few off of this already. We'll move back here to the Nadapenos and see how many are left. I did pick some yesterday, so we'll go ahead and pick the rest and take them in and see what we can do with them. Okay, I found some more. Lilac bells, and some that are turning red, so I don't know if that's overripe. Let's turn you around here a little bit better so you can see where I'm at. Okay. I took my gloves off because they've gotten wet. So, I'm gonna pick some more of these. I can really look at it today. I have not trimmed these up though. I guess I could. I've had to put like a PVC stake in here though. They got so heavy before they were ripe that they were falling over. Ah. Remember I told you that I don't like worms. I didn't know that tomato worms get on peppers. Where did that go? Oh my gosh. Gross. Chickens will be happy to see him though. Just gonna lay him right there for a minute. Okay, now I gotta pay attention to what I'm doing. I still have blooms on here, so that's good. Okay, I think that's it for the Nadapenos, at least for now. Oops, there's another one. Another one. Okay, I think that's it for the Nadapenos. I'm gonna check the orange lunchbox peppers real quick and see what I've got, and then I'm gonna take this in and we're gonna start getting these washed, cut up, and processed. All right, I hope you're staying dry under there. This is funny. So I do have some red peppers, but these are off of the same plants. Does anybody know why that happens? Like, these are ripe, but they're tiny, and then these are a nice size. I don't know, I got a few of these, but I did get a few of these in varying sizes, so not really sure. Same plant. All right, we're gonna take our little hornworm friend here. Well, not really friend to the chickens. You can see how much they like them. So they have some weeds and things to go through. I actually opened it up all the way down where there is now, there was compost, or there's manure down there, so I'm letting them go through it, and they're having a blast. So, chick, 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 chick. They like those. They run and hide. The garden is looking a little sad right now. The wheelbarrow, I need to go ahead and dump that. It's got water in it too. These are just like, some of this is volunteer stuff that came up. Some of it's been cleaned out. The okra needs to be pulled. I've let it go. There's just stuff. So I brought the peppers in, separating them, getting ready to wash them. We've got the Habanadas and the Nadapenos separated. So I'm just gonna dump them in to the colander. Gonna start getting them washed off so that we have clean peppers to deal with. I had started to cut them up by hand, as you saw, but this slicer works much better on the Nadapenos, and I was able to get them sliced up a lot quicker and much more evenly than just slicing them with a knife. I had quite a few to cut up, so this worked out really, really well. As you can see here, I have finished with the Nadapenos, cleaning out the slicer a little bit, and now I have these beautifully sliced Nadapenos. I did try the slicer on the Habanadas, but as you can see, it did not work out like the Nadapenos. It just kind of mutilated them a little bit. So back to the cutting board for all of the Habanadas. you can see here, I am filling up the canner, getting it ready. I'm going to turn that on, start getting that water really hot, and keep that heat in with that lid. And you can see all the habanadas that I got cut up, or the habanadas that I got cut up, and the nadapenos. And the first thing we're going to do is we've got this habanada jelly and we've got cowboy candy that we're going to make. And I was really excited to get these made. So basically I just weighed the habanadas and the nadapenos and made sure that I had enough for each recipe. I did mix the nadapenos and the habanadas for the cowboy candy, and I will try to link that below if I can remember, and if I wrote down how much of each I used. I think I used about half and half, and I just weighed out. It actually used quite a bit more than what I thought it would, and I just love the color that ended up being with the orange and the green, the cowboy candy. It really looks just really great and very festive, I think. So looking at the recipe, I think I used about 1.5 pounds of each for the cowboy candy, which when you're measuring peppers looks a lot. It looks like a lot more than what you think it does. I wasn't expecting, I guess, to use that many peppers, but it turned out really good, and I actually cooked down quite a bit. Now, after I measured out the peppers for the cowboy candy, I went ahead and measured out the habanadas for the pepper jelly, and then I put them in my little food processor and got that down, got that going, and got that nice and pureed up a little bit into little bitty. So first here we're gonna get the cowboy candy going. We're gonna get the sugar in there, and then we're gonna add, I believe, the apple cider vinegar. It really doesn't have very many ingredients, and then a little bit of salt, and that's it with the peppers. And it really cooked down quite a bit after I put the peppers in there. You're going to see that added in just a minute. Here's the sugar, and the apple cider vinegar kind of mixes together and the sugar dissolves, and then we get to add all those pretty peppers. I just, like I said before, love the color. Now, these do cook down quite a bit, which kind of surprised me. I guess it shouldn't have surprised me, but it looked like I had so much. And then you're gonna see after they cook down, you don't have as much as what you think you were going to. So that is why it only fills a few jars and not as many as what I thought I was going to have after looking at all those peppers in that pan. So we're just going to stir them up, make sure we get them good and coated, and as you can see, they cooked down quite a bit. So now we're going to get those hot jars out that we turned on earlier and get all those out and put those over there on the side and get ready to get them filled up. Now, I tried to get as much juice out to start with as I could, just to make sure that I didn't have a lot of space, you know, with everything floating up. So I did try to fill them as much as I could with the peppers and then add the juice on top later to make sure that the jar was filled with peppers and not just, you know, peppers floating on the top of the juice. Now we're wiping off those jars, getting all that stickiness off of there. This does have that sugar in it, so it was kind of sticky. I'm kind of messy whenever I can, so that's why I gotta make sure that I get it good and clean. We're just gonna add the lids, put the rings on, and get all those done so that we can get those in the can. So I added the plate that goes in the bottom to keep the jars off the bottom. I don't really remember why that wasn't in there because it should have been earlier whenever I warmed up the jars. But anyways, we got that added, and now we're going to add all those jars and get those water bath canned so they will be good and sealed for the shelf. So sometimes after placing the jars in there, if the water's been boiling, you're going to have a little bit less water. Just add a little bit of water so that they're covered for an inch or two, and then you can proceed with your canning. Now I am getting ready to do the Habanada jelly, and I was trying to get as much of just the liquid out as I could. We had to use 2 cups of the Habanadas that were nice and chopped up from the food processor, and I'm pretty sure I just ended up putting them all in there because that's the amount that I had. So this does require the powdered pectin, so I added that in, and we're going to boil it a little bit after we add in the lemon juice. And I think we might even be adding in the sugar. Nope. We add the sugar in after we boil that powdered pectin for a little bit, and we will add the sugar then after that's boiled to whatever the recipe said. We're going to get these covered though, because trap that heat in and get those going. So you see the peppers are boiling, so we've got the sugar added, and that is definitely going to be nice and thickened up with all that sugar and that pectin in there. I just love the color of this, and it just made a really pretty jelly, and I can't wait to open some of it and put it over the top of some cream cheese like I did whenever I made the Nadapeno jelly as well. Now this has been boiling. We want to make sure that it boils down really good. I think it turned out really neat. I don't like how all the peppers are floating right there on the top, but I think it turned out good. So now we're just going to remove those jars after they have water bath canned, and you get to see the cowboy candy. I think it turned out really cool looking with the orange and the green both in there. Habanada jelly got placed in the canner, and it's finished, so it's ready to come out. Unfortunately, sometimes jars will bust, and the bottom of this one came right off, and it went all into the canning liquid, but they look great. Alright, I hope you enjoyed that video. It's a little bit different than what I normally do. I have people in the house, stuff going on, it's raining outside, so I normally don't do videos in the house on a Saturday afternoon. But this concludes the Habanada pepper jelly that I made. I had a ton of habanadas. You probably saw that, maybe if you saw that, where I harvested all those. And then I also made cowboy candy or cowgirl candy in this video using the Nadapenos and the habanadas. So it made it really pretty. It's got the it's got the orange and the green peppers in it, so it looks really nice. It has a really good flavor. They are both they both have sugar in them, so it's kind of sticky whatever it's on. But I will try to remember to link these below so that you can have these. And I'll make notes of what I changed a little bit for the cowboy candy. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video. The rain is picking up a little bit out here, so I'm headed back inside. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and be a lovely light today.